Hey there, everybody. Good morning to you. Today is the 22nd of November, and it's around 2:30 a.m. Okay. I just want to make a small documentary about what's going on over here. For the longest while, a woman came into the building, a blonde woman. She has short hair. I noticed when she came in, she had like computers and a whole lot moving in. She moved in on the fifth floor, and she claimed that when I had spoken to her sometime back, she said that she's moving in with her mother. And if evidently I saw every morning, it's not normal. She's on the fifth floor, so it's not normal that every morning that they're walking in front of my door. So I had noticed it, only to find out that they are speaking to me in some sort, because I'm supposed to be speaking to a British woman down the hall. And it was, I have been speaking to her, and they did it deliberately for me not to speak to her. So I spoke to her and her sister, and it was okay. In the beginning, everything was okay. And now, the second time when I went back, because she said she was busy, second time I went back, she was, something was bugging her, something was bugging her. And I know that they now have gotten to her vindicatively. This is how they are. And so I spoke to the women again who were passing my door, asking them why. I've tried several times speaking to them. I had even asked her to knock on my door so I could speak to her one day, because there were things happening. She did not. And so finally I spoken to her and her mother when they're passing. They were nonchalant about things. But anyway, I spoke to them a little bit. So now they are aware. I don't know if they're the ones who are filming in the apartment. At one point, someone was coming into the apartment. I don't know if it was them or if it was her, actually, not the mother. Her, because she's younger than the mother. So it had gotten to me, because she's a very bit rude, in some sense, and she of course, since they're French, they know a lot, but they don't say a lot, and they don't care a lot, which bothers me. I have been realizing that I'm speaking to people for the longest while and they don't care. I'm very, very upset with Jamaica also, because I know that Jamaica is bold enough to manipulate them against me, but and also Africa, who want to get further, and get than their opportunities, so they will do just about anything. But the French themselves, they are very pig-headed people. This is what I realize about them. They're very pig-headed people, which frightens me. As you know, as it's entertainment related, but there's a whole other set to it. Back in Jamaica, I must say, back in Jamaica quickly, I was living up Hope Pastors. I realized that I'm being harassed, because a woman was much older, I was only 20 years old, maybe 19 even. I like living in clean neighborhood. But what happened is I saw the information. I had just gotten a job in Ligony, at the dry cleaning, Bogues Brothers Dry Cleaning Center. And a very nice, it was a very nice place, nice area. And what happened was I was looking for a place to live. And so I saw it in the Daily Gleaner that this person was looking for a someone for her one bedroom. And so I called asking for the information, and she said, oh, it's still available, I can come up and see it. And I went. She was an old blonde woman living by herself. Okay. Wasn't shocking to me because back in St. Elizabeth, where I came from, there were women all by themselves, and I did not know why. Okay. All most of them were white women. Why? So I don't understand why Jamaica is letting this happening to me again, and people are harassing me. I am black. So anyway, I said to her, I will pay whatever she asked for because I had just got my job and could pay it. It was my first attempt to rent anywhere, I think, because I was very young, coming from my uncle's home, two uncles, one from Maline's housing scheme, which was a very polished neighborhood. And then, unfortunately, I went to see my uncle at Waterloo, my other uncle. And so I paid for the apartment. And shortly after, the Indians, doctors came there, okay? They came there and rented the place. And I was heading to work back and forth. I remember one day I had no problems with my supervisors and staff at the time. There was a Miss Gord there that looked like my grandmother, you know. They were Miss Winter, my supervisor, and the other young lady who was white. I never thought of it as anything. But anyway, I went to work. I was happy. I was getting paid. And so I was doing my job well. And so one day, something happened with the woman who was white. I saw another gentleman who came there. Again, I don't know where he came from. If he works, apparently he works. We never discussed that, unfortunately. But he was around the back. I just saw him around the back one day. This one is Fisher, you know. So anyway, I was going to work. My room was a lovely, spacious bedroom, and the kitchen was adjointed, so I have to use the kitchen where they uses. And but I had my own bathroom and shower, which was great for me, you know. One day I realized that, she was asking me for money for miscellaneous items, electricity bill and stuff, which I thought I had paid. So anyway, she claimed it wasn't paid. And so we were having some frictions about that. I was still working, but something happened where I stopped going to work. I stopped going to work for some strange reason. I stopped going to work. I wasn't fired. I stopped going to work because what happened was the Prime Minister came in, Miss Portia. She came in one day. The supervisor wanted to go to, she lives in Portmore. She was black. She lives in Portmore, and she wanted to be closer to home. She had kids. She got married, etc. And she thought it would be best for her to go. And then she said that she would hand it over to me, the being supervisor, since the other girl who was there, she got married, she got pregnant, and she left. She left. So everything would be handed over to me as supervisor, young supervisor. I was so, elated. So anyway, that was that where she handed everything over to me, and to my surprise, I was doing my job when this lady comes in. I remember Miss Gordon, the older woman, as my grandmother had said, that certain people came there to hand over their cleaning, So I was aware of certain names, but I wasn't aware of seeing certain people. And this person would would have sent, some of them would have sent their drivers, So, of course, the minister would send her driver. And so one day she popped up when I was alone. And unfortunately, I did not know who she was. Young as I was, very young, coming from school. I did not know who she was. And so apparently, to fast track, they probably thought that I was a stranger, because, she's expecting that everybody's supposed to know her. But no, I did not watch television when I was on Malays Road. Although we had television, I did not watch it. And we did not speak about certain things. And unfortunately, in school, we did not spoke about certain things either. Not really my fault, but that's it. So anyway, yeah, I was there, asked her for her name, wrote down her jackets and stuff, and then she left. And it so happened that a few days after, a small black boy, who was appointed manager of the general store, came in. He was very skinny, just as skinny as Josh, my uncle. He was coming from the same area, and he got the job. And immediately, I did not like him. I was at the back doing something. I thought he was up front. And so I was at the back, quickly doing something, rustling up something for a client, and on my way back. And so, about after once or twice seeing him, things started to get heated up with me and him. He was a black boy, and I don't get along with them. The guys and the girls who were working in the back, I never really had a problem with them when my supervisor was with us, Miss Winter. I never had a problem with them. We spoke, things, we didn't spoke a lot, but I never, we were cordial to each other. And so when this black boy came, things started changing. One of the boy over there, he was arguing for something, but he didn't told me what it was. For whatever reason, he was arguing, because the black boy apparently had dropped some false information around there to them, I would presume. So he was not happy. This guy was not happy about it. Also, what I found out later, that the girl who was there, I know that they were friends, but they were co-workers, friends, but I did not know that they were together. So again, I don't know what was said. I was too young to be preoccupied with certain stories, and the stories have been following me for the longest of while. Now they are harassing me for my aunt back then, and I did not know either that they were harassing me for her. So anyway, doing my job, something happened, and when I just got absent-minded and never went back to work. And so, of course, I started having problems. And somewhere along the line, my uncle pops up. The Indian couple that was there, they were both doctors. You know, I was very young. He popped up. I'm totally forgotten what happened at Moulins Road with him and his spouse and everybody else. And so I told him, what happened. And yes, he was now seeing the second woman who we all know of, which was Rudy Kai. She was taking us to school in the morning, so she knew who I was. And so, since I was having problems with this black boy, and who was a supervisor and a general supervisor, and I was a young supervisor, and my uncle Wesley was a big supervisor, as he had told me. He was a supervisor at the cement company. I thought that I would profit of the time when I saw him to tell him what I was going through with this guy and how he caused problems with the couple in the back. So anyway, yeah, so that was that, and I started having problems that I said with my new apartment. I did not know that adjacent to this that people do not wish to see black people in certain areas, I would presume. So this heavy legged woman moved in. She moved in. She was much, much older than I was. I'm supposing now that she is Rudy Koi silhouette. She's Rudy Koi silhouette. So she moved in, and she was going out like every 6 o'clock, but she was dressed in a very bizarre way. I wasn't dressing that way. I was very young. And so she would come and took over my bedroom. That's what the woman had said. And so unfortunately I panicked. I lost track of everything. I lost everything and lost all thoughts of everything. And so I end up crashing and losing the apartment, and things went bad for me, so I had to move out. And we even went to the court for my for those bills that she accused me of, and I didn't gain cause of. She was a judge, so she was a bit intimidating. She loves laughing. During the time was there, she was laughing aloud as if she was intimidating me, and as if she was saying, "Oh, you're black, you can't pay," etc. But like I said, I was working, and the money that she was asking for, I could have paid for it, you know. But I did not know how to budget my money well, because, you know, I did not know how to budget, and I was really out of it. It was my very very first apartment. I liked it. I had a boyfriend who was calling my house. He was a very cute guy. Things were going for me, so it was great. So yeah, but she was not very. She had a big dog, and she was not very clean in the kitchen. So I used to absent myself from using the kitchen that much. She had a whole lot of piles of pots and stuff, only to find out that those pots and dog pots and stuff, plates that was there had to do with the Yuna version, which I had left back at home in St. Elizabeth in Silo when I was about 7 years old, when she had asked me to go and give Uncle Badgie something, a plate of food. And when I came back, there were a whole lot of pots and pans into the kitchen. And she rewarded me. I went and told her that I gave them and the food. I walked like probably more than like what, like 5 kilometers? Was it could be like 4 kilometers, I think, away from the center, away from my house. I gave the man the food, Uncle Badgie. He was a white man, by the way, living in a one bedroom. And so I went back and told her. And young as I was now about 7, 8 years old at the time. And she rewarded me with a plate, a small plate of food at the kitchen door, sitting on a bench, you know. She did not call me into the kitchen and put it around the table as a mother should. She did not do that, which was very unfortunate, very unkind. unkind. And so I ate. I did not call out to her because I did not know where she was at exactly. I sat down waiting for her. She did not came, and so I just put the dish into the sink, and I left. There were other big piles of pots there at the time, as I was young, and now they are harassing me about pots and pans as if they want me to clean it. So this is the story, which was very frightening, which Megan herself has been taking on the story about pots and pans and whatever commercial that she had done. So anyway, being in the situation that I was, I went back to my uncle's place. He had a new place up by Oakland, so I went back there to speak to them. It was around my birthday. It was summer, I remember. And so I called him and I went back there, not remembering anything about my childhood, not remember anything about my adolescence, not remember anything about Josh and his girlfriend, absolutely nothing. And that's how absent-minded and young I was. So anyway, I went hoping to speak to him. But before we had went to the court, like I said, the woman was a judge. She was living by herself as far as I know. Unless Fisher was there before me, I don't know. But it seems like she was living there by herself. And yeah, she was a very complacent woman. I don't know, there's something bizarre about her. Something like she being French. No, now that I'm knowing the French people, she being French, which was so unreal, very, you know, um, deliberate, I would say. So anyway, I was supposed they grant me cause to pay her in certain portions, which I had agreed upon. And so I went to my uncle's place for a while to tell him what was going on. And Rudy Coy was there, of course, which wasn't shocking. I said hello to her. She opened the door for me and everything. But I remember again, I did not eat. I did not eat because I had money. I had money, so I went downstairs and I purchased stuff. I purchased something to eat. And there was Subway that was there, so I purchased Subway sandwich. She did not offer me anything to eat, but yet still, in the night I was feeling having upset stomach, and then in the night, I remember she called me. She woke me up late in the night saying that my uncle was beating her, and I did not get the chance to speak to him, to tell him what was happening at work as I wanted to, because it was interrupted. And so she told me about this to her story, and I tried to reason with my uncle Wesley at the time, and it never worked out well. So since I was going back and forth to Mullines Road. I think that's where I had met a co-worker of mine in Mullines Road. I'm not too sure. I had met her on Mullines Road, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the fashion industry anyway. So as you know, it never worked out well with me and my uncle, so I had to go to the Williams place, which I don't like very much. I don't come from there. But to quickly speed up things, I now know that somebody is trying to lower me each time into a certain neighborhood, into a certain settings, because they took me since Aunt Una had used me to go to Windsor. My mother forbade me not to go into those areas. We had gotten severely beaten not to go there. And now that they send me to Uncle Badger's place, Aunt Myra was living next door. And of course, as a child, I went back there and made friends with Jen and Maiva and the rest of them, which I shouldn't have done. And unfortunately, I got caved into the black community, and which I don't come from. I am from the center of town, just like the Yunus family. But so, of course, they navigate me out of there. And the black now the entertainment like are using me. The black Africans have used the story as if I am from there, and then they are also using the Christine that is there who is white against me, and now the black community here, they are using that against me, such as Liputa Nayonga, who throw their stories at me, and it's became real crazy, real crazy. So they're pretending as if they did not know that I'm black. And so, of course, the French created Naomi Lenoir, who was white, in the middle, knowing very well that they had already Naomi Campbell, who is white too. So I am being crushed between the two, and people are confusing everybody about me being white and me being Naomi, which I'm totally not. So anyway, it goes in a soup right here. So you have to understand it, but I will explain later. So I became having difficulties, and I have to stay at my friend's house, which I did not like it one bit. But I had to crash there for probably a week or so, and you know, it's yeah. So it was crazy. That period was crazy. Again, we were going out to night service, and then I saw a man whispering to Yvonne's big sister, saying something to her. And again, just right there, it was an Indian pastor, and just right there, I started having problems again at home. So each time that the Indians came, I realized that they would be saying something and blocking me. Only that something started to make me miserable when they do this. So to get back to what I'm saying, next door, this woman who has been going up and down the road, up and down the corridor. She has been harassing me. I lodged a complaint about it. They are now aware of it. She said that they have another apartment down the hall, but I don't see why she couldn't, since she's upstairs, why she can't take the elevator and on the opposite end so she could be closer to their place. But anyway, they do whatever they want. Doesn't bother me that much. But anyway, I'm a little bit distracted by this story, so I'm going to log off and then come back and let you know what took place in August Town. Okay, so later, take care. Bye bye.